Hey everyone, welcome back to Chart Stoppers. Before we get into today's stock, I just need to remind everyone that this channel is about looking at different stocks and mapping out their key support and resistance areas on their daily charts. Also, we will be identifying any trends a stock is in and any key technical patterns we can find on the charts. Don't forget, this channel is for educational purposes only, and I am not advocating to buy or sell any of the securities talked about on this channel. But I am here to point out key factors on the charts that do impact the price action of a stock. Also, I provided a link in the description for Webull. You could use it to start an account and you will get 2 free stocks. And don't forget, we will be doing 3 videos per week on 3 different stocks. So if you have a recommendation for a video, leave a comment below and I will try to get to it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on so you don't miss out on any new content here. Okay, so let's check the market real quick. Today is November 10th, 2021. It is Wednesday. You could see here we are having a red day. Today, the S&P 500 is down about 0.5%. The Dow is down 0.39%, and the NASDAQ is having the worst day of them all today, down 1.12%. So hopefully things turn around for the rest of the day and the rest of the week, given today is Wednesday. So hopefully tomorrow and Friday are better days to come. Let's get into the stock I want to take a look at today. Today I'm going to be covering Palantir. I have covered this one a couple times before. I'll provide a link in the upper right hand corner to the most recent video I have done. You can go back and check that out if you want to see how I got to where my chart is today. But at the time of this recording, Palantir is currently trading at $22.91. It is down $1.34 today, which is the equivalent of about 5.55%. In the past week, this stock is down 12.86%. In the past month, it is down 3.25%. Okay, so in the past month, not too bad. In the past 3 months, it is pretty much flat, down 0.5%. So, it was doing pretty well until, these past couple days when it's been down a lot. All right. In the past year, it is still up 52.75%. So it's still having a pretty nice year, pretty good returns in the past year. But, the past, week or so have not been good, and that is due to the earnings report that they just had a couple days ago, okay? But other than that, leading up to the earnings, you could see from the chart here, going back to around the beginning of October, we were on a nice little run here. The stock was trading around $23, made a nice little run up from the beginning of October to from 23 all the way to around $27. So you had a nice little $4 run up there in just about a month. Okay, so you had a nice little return there, about a month and a half, and then earnings hit, and that took away all those gains there. So not good for the earnings, even though the numbers weren't too bad though, okay? But getting into the chart here, you could see this stock did come out last October here. October 1st actually came out, and it IPO'd at around $8, and you could see here the low was $8.90. So it came out around $9 here, and it instantly made a run, all right? It came out and there was a lot of hype around this stock, and you could see the huge run up it had. It made a high of all-time high of $45, and we made that on January 27th of earlier this year. So it did not take a lot of time for this stock to make a huge run, okay? So on the way up, you could see there was not a lot of consolidation and not a lot of support areas on the way up here. So you could see when it did get up to that all-time high, it was no surprise that it did not stick around in that area, okay? So the stock did fall from those areas, and that was around the time in February, March, and April we were having a correction in the NASDAQ, so the stock fell from those all-time highs. And you could see that I do have a line up here around $39. That is where we need to see this stock get back up to, and we need to see it close at or above $39. Okay, we've been above there intraday. As you can see, we've hit that $45 mark intraday, but we've never been able to close a day above $39. So we need to see a daily candle close above 39 if we want to see this stock make new all-time highs. So coming off of our all-time high, we have a gap here between $30.44 and $31.34 that needs to be filled in, and it's been sitting there for a while. You could see that when we came down from that all-time high during this correction here, that gap was left on the way down, and it has never been filled in since. So we'll be looking for that to be filled in. You could see that it almost was filled in just recently back in September when it looked like we were on a nice little uptrend here, but we failed to fill that gap in and failed to stay above this resistance level. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's cover our chart here first and finish off our support and resistance levels. Next on our chart is this level right here, which would be $27.45. That is a big resistance level that this stock has had huge trouble with breaking. You could see that comes into play a lot on this chart, and this stock has had a lot of trouble breaking this resistance. You could see on the left side of the all-time high, it did have trouble in this area breaking through that point, and then it finally did break through it on the way up, and then on the way down, once it fell below that point, it never was able to get back above that $27.45 point until September. And then we briefly had it stay above there with a false breakout. And then what happened? It fell back below. Okay, so this is going to be a big price point in the future, and we're going to need to keep an eye on that if we ever want to see this gap getting filled in the future and moving on to new all-time highs. Okay, so keep that in your mind there, that $27.45 resistance line. Everyone should have that marked on their chart if you're invested in this stock at home here, okay, or trading this stock. And last on our chart is $20.85. That is where this stock has set up a base during this correction. And you could see that we have a nice base set up along that area, that price point. That is where buyers come in once the stock gets down to that area and pushes the stock back up. We have a lot of bounces off of that price point. So that will be an area where a lot of buyers come in if it does reach that point again. Now, let's move on to the trend line I have here marked in the green line. You can see it's been trading along that uptrend ever since, basically it IPO'd back in October of last year. Now, this past earnings report a couple of days ago, you could see we have broken that trend line. Let's zoom in here. And we have broken down on that trend line, so now this trend is not good anymore. So now this past year's worth of uptrend is gone now because the earnings report has caused this to dip below that trend line. And once we had this close below there, which was yesterday, the close on the daily candle below that trend line right there confirmed that we have broken the uptrend, and now it looks like we are headed down back towards the $20.85 support again to retest that, and hopefully we will have another bounce off of that support for another retest of $27, okay? But that's what it looks like, and you could see it looks like we are trading in between that $20.85 support and this resistance at $27.45. So we could get rid of this trend line because that is out the window now, and now we're just stuck with the stock trading in between this support and this resistance here, and that's what it looks like it's going to be doing from now on. No more trend, no more uptrend, but also what we could do is we could draw a downtrend since it failed to make a higher high right here. You could see it was making, you saw a high right here, and then it made a higher high right here. We were looking for another higher high to fill this gap in right here, but it failed to make that higher high now. You could see, and it made a lower low. So now it looks like we're just going to have to make a downtrend line right here. And it looks like it's making a descending triangle now into that support. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now, since it's doing a downtrend, since it made that lower high now. Okay, so coming off of this all-time high, the stock made a lower high instead of a higher high. So now that our uptrend is out the window, we're now going to be starting a downtrend since it made that lower high, and we're going into our support here. Okay, so eventually it looks like by March of 2022 right here, where the downtrend meets our support right here, the stock is going to have to make a decision by then. Either it's going to break out of this downtrend, or it's going to break down this support and move lower. But you could see we have a lot of time until then, and probably we're going to have some consolidation in between these areas until then. So, we'll keep an eye on that until March of 2022. We have a lot of time, like I said. Now, let's throw the moving averages up there and see what that can tell us. And as you could see, we were on a nice rally with that 8-day moving average supporting us on the upside. It was looking very good on those daily candles. Look at that. That white moving average right there is the 8-day, and that was supporting us on that uptrend until that earnings report. And now we are below our 50-day right here in the blue. We're also below our 200-day now in the yellow. Also that 200 or that 21-day in the light blue, we're below that too now. So we have a lot of ground to make up for now since that earnings report knocked us down. All right. So let's switch over to the weekly chart, check out the moving averages there, see what we could find. And not much help here either, as we're below all of the moving averages here. Okay, 50-day, we're below that. Nothing to really support us here on this weekly chart. And as you can see, it's much clearer here on the weekly chart with that support right here and the resistance. And we're just going to be trading in between that channel. And look at our trend line here, okay? Now we're in that downtrend instead of that uptrend still. So that's about it. We'll keep an eye on this for the next couple months and see what it does. Hopefully it starts a new rally and we could get behind that. But that's about it for this one. If you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and have your notifications on, so you don't miss out on any new content here. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time on Chart Stoppers.